Welcome back to Chicago Cars Direct. Today we're going to spend some time with a 2007 Mini Cooper S. Under the hood of the Mini, you're going to find the familiar engine size 1.6 liter 4-cylinder engine. Now they did change this engine for the 07 model year. They went from a supercharger setup to a turbocharger setup. Now I will admit I have not driven a turbocharged Mini S yet, but I'm kind of looking forward to getting behind the wheel here because anybody who's touched one of these turbos has told me that they're so much more improved. The acceleration's a lot more stout and the overall refinement's changed a lot. That was one of the things with the particular first generation Mini. They're great cars. They haven't changed the styling much, but the engine and supercharger combination were a little loud and a little coarse, and some of the components around it were, but in my experience so far with this and just moving it around, it's a much smoother, much more refined car. And I'm not knocking the first generation this much. This one is just that much improved, but let's walk around it because it's virtually a brand new car. We'll take a walk around the Mini to exemplify the condition, but aside from a couple really small blemishes, the car is factory new in condition. All stock. You got a little tiny, I would call it a ding here. It goes just over the paint here, but it's there. And then on the lower part of the bumper, it looks like there was at one time they must have hit a some sort of contact because it looks like that was a uniform knock, but just a little bit of wear along there. That is easily remediable, and you don't have to get it back to 100% spec to make it look right. But you know, as always, we want to keep them as close to original as we can. You do have a xenon set of lamps here, and this hood scoop here is indicative of the S model turbocharged. This car is equipped with a sport package, so you're going to find a 17-inch wheel up front here. Now, the size of this 17-inch wheel is a 205/45ZR17, so it's a performance-rated tire, but it's definitely worn evenly. The neat part about these is the engine is mounted right over the front wheels, which drive the car, so it makes for optimal traction. Taking a look down the driver's side, you can see the reflection is excellent. They did add some tinted windows there, which can be easily removed if you so choose. You can see the chrome filler gas lid there, that is factory as well. Rear wheel's excellent. Coming around to the rear, you're going to find the dual outlet exhaust that indicates the S model. Proper S badging. You can see everything. Stunning Chicago Cars Direct frame there. And then down the passenger side, it's still uniform. Looks like a brand new Mini. It's a pretty one. Inside the rear hatch of the Mini, this is a 4-passenger car. You still do have a good amount of little storage here. It's not huge, but the car's not huge either. You do have the winter mats. These are a nice addition. I got the mats for the rear there, as well as the driver and front passenger. But everything back here is excellent, and only to fold these forward, pull those hooks, and this pops right off as well. Got a ton of cargo room at that point. The interior in here is excellent. You can see you've got a cloth and partial leather interior here. But just to have a seat in, this is the sport model. Very, very cool how they've redone the interior. They haven't changed it too much. Everybody remembers you've got the traditional tachometer right at your face here. Speedometer being in the middle, but they changed the whole layout. Shifter over here, 6-speed manual. It's fantastic, but multifunction wheel, automatic wipers. And look at the door here, the trim is unique as well. You got kind of a lacquered black finish here, as well as a set of speakers, power mirrors, and a small red insert. The Mini Cooper S, actually the Mini Cooper in general is it's a smaller car, but here, just to give you an idea, I'm 6 feet tall and I could get myself so far away from the steering wheel that I really couldn't even fit in the car. I can barely even reach the pedals. There's so much room for a driver here. But these manual seats are so easy to adjust. You can see you got a height adjustment there as I'm bringing myself right back up, and there we go, we're back. Multifunction steering wheel here. You can do your cruise control. You got some voice activated functions and radio as well. But look at that speedometer. What other car has a speedometer that size that goes to 150 miles an hour? Below that, you're going to find your radio controls, in-dash CD player as well. You do have optional automatic climate control in here as well. And then you've got heated seats for both the front occupants. Below that, you're going to find the button for the sport mode here. Sport is actually going to amp the throttle response and change somewhat of the feel for the engine. It's a lot faster with that, and I don't mean statistically faster, it just feels a whole lot faster around town. And then the DSC button on the right there, that's your dynamic stability and traction control. Last but not least, right above my head, one-touch power moonroof from the factory, and you've got a panoramic glass panel for the rear. You can see on the roof here is the panoramic section for the rear glass. As this piece pops up and goes over, both are glass, transparent. It's pretty neat. So that when you ride in the back seat, you can look up at the sky. Mini Cooper is so super calm and serene. It's a vast improvement over the previous model, which I still am a huge fan of, but I think if anybody's considering upgrading from the first generation to this, I would highly, highly recommend it. Because if you love that car, you'll absolutely fall in love with this thing. It just feels more like a BMW than the first one, and I think that's a huge compliment. It feels more like a 1 Series than a Mini Cooper. Very, very smooth, very quiet, very, very refined. I remember the steering was so bulky and kind of irregular in its assist and felt very artificial when you drive it. It was overly heavy, but this is very linear, very smooth, and feels as if it communicates well. And it still has the nimble abilities that you'd expect of a Mini, which is ultra convenient in both urban and suburban living. Well, we continue our cruise on this rainy day. We're out on the highway, and what's kind of heavy traffic for this kind of time of day? Actually, I guess it isn't. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm talking about right now. And Dave and I have been talking, and after looking at the clock, I don't think we're going to get back up for another video today. There, I said it. But the overall experience of just driving this car, I know I keep saying how much improved it is over the previous model, but it's exponentially improved over the previous model. Smooth, comfortable, refined. We're moving along in a good clip here, and the previous generation car, I'd be raising my voice, I know I would be. And we're on a kind of bumpy road, and even though we hit big bumps, the structure of this is so well damped. It's as solid as anything out there. Super safe. Everybody says, oh, there's no way you'd survive a crash with a semi or something like that. I don't know why I have to go through dire consequences. These cars are really safe because you've got a whole assortment of airbags. You've got the head airbag, front, side, and even the rear side airbags. So I think it's a total of what, 8? And just in the overall thrust of this, that's a 4th gear pull. And it's still so quiet. Last car you heard everything. You don't hear a lot in this one. But what you do hear is good. Don't get me wrong. I did say it's a lot more BMW-like. Man, they really improved this car. I've always liked the Mini. I've been a huge fan, but I have not driven one since the 07 redesign. And I've driven a number of the regular S's before this, but a lot smoother, a lot more refined. Handles about the same, which was fantastic to begin with, but that extra thrust and the flexibility of this engine changes the whole characteristic. The steering's lighter. It's just a lot nicer. I'll be shocked. And if you have owned a Mini previously, try out this new body. It's pretty nice. I think you'll be impressed. But I've got a bunch of good information here. I've got both the auto check and Carfax vehicle history report. This is a one-owner car. We did buy it directly from the owner, but no information beyond that. No accident history. Just a squeaky clean ownership on both ends. So I also have the BMW factory vehicle inquiry, which shows all the pertinent information regarding options, original build, service that's been done on the car, and the warranty. 4-year, 50,000 miles from BMW, because BMW does make this car, by the way. 4 years, 50,000 miles, runs through April 27th, 2011, so you got a good amount of time left. Dark silver over metallic paint, red leather with the carbon black cloth combination interior. Original MSRP $27,000. But a ton of great information on here. The Car was just in for its service. It shows 7,000 miles till its next service, but it was just in service in June at 20,600 miles. It had its standard maintenance performance, and they did front brake pads and rotors, because brakes and rotors are covered under the BMW plan as well. But check out this car online. You'll find this at chicagocarsdirect.com, where we'll have 60 photos of this Mini Cooper S. Also, check out our YouTube channel, where you'll find a lot of other highlights of cars we have. You'll find us at youtube.com/chicagocarsdirect. Thanks for having some fun with us today, and something you don't normally see here, and we'll see you soon.